We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this afternoon on the midweek huddle, we are going to answer a question today. And that question today simply is, should you as a content creator, as a live streamer, be using Zoom when you do your live streams? You, as a content creator, a podcaster, a live streamer, should you be using the platform Zoom to do your live streams? Well, we're going to attempt to answer that question during this midweek huddle discussion, and we're starting right now. Praise the Lord. Welcome to the midweek huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, then we want to welcome you to the show. And as we said in our opening this afternoon, we're going to tackle the question in 2022, should you as a live streamer, content creator, podcaster, whatever your title is in doing live streaming, live stream producer, should you be using Zoom as a platform to be doing your live streams? Well, we're going to get into that discussion today and attempt to answer that question. Should you be using live streaming, doing live streaming using Zoom? And so we're going to try, not just try, but we're going to present an argument today, present a case today why you should or should not be using Zoom when you're live streaming. And so if you're watching us on YouTube, do me a favor in the chat. Let me know where you're watching me from. If you're a part of Team Live, give us a hashtag Team Live. And also, we are on LinkedIn Live. We are also on Twitter. So we are multi-streaming this afternoon. And as you come in, just kind of give us where your location is and give us a hashtag Team Live, just like our good friend Tech Troublemaker all the way joining us this afternoon, a part of Team Live. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back, my friend. I appreciate you checking out the midweek huddle. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn Live, and Twitter, which I understand Twitter only allows you to leave comments after the replay, that means you get the privilege of being a part of Team Replay, the crew, the posse, the online squad. So give us a hashtag Team Replay in the comment section. And those of you who are going to be watching on YouTube or watching on LinkedIn Live, give us a hashtag Team Replay. And those of you who are a part of Team Live joining in, continue to join in and let us know in the chat where you're joining us from, like our good man Adobe 5, who's in the house this afternoon, a part of the midweek huddle. Good afternoon, my friend. Yes, we are here. We are here with another midweek huddle. And so the question on the table today is simply, should you be using Zoom as a platform to be doing live streaming in 2022? And we want to get into that question. We want to present a case today on should or should you not be using Zoom. And so just to kind of take you back and to give you a history lesson on the platform Zoom. What is Zoom? Zoom is a virtual meeting platform that allows people like me and you, family members, business owners, churches, and others during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, which gave us the ability to be able to meet online with one another. As we know, back in 2020, our country and the world unfortunately shut down because of the pandemic. And so we had no way of kind of interacting with one another because we were being told to socially distance and to be 6 feet apart from one another. And so we were challenged. And all of a sudden, Zoom bursted on the scene and began to provide us the platform of being able to meet virtually with one another online. Shortly after Zoom, others like Google Meet popped up on the scene and Microsoft Teams, but Zoom began to be the predominant virtual meeting platform that began to answer the need of us being able to connect with one another, even if it was virtually. Well, at the same time this is happening, live streaming, which was preferably really wasn't it, at a height that it's at now, that began to take off as well because people now are at home where they can't go out and interact, and their work is not the way it needs to be where they can work, and people begin to get into live streaming. Well, Zoom, I believe, along with other virtual meeting platforms, begin to see this, and then they begin to make decisions for content creators, for people and businesses and online creators to say, let's incorporate this as a feature. And so since the pandemic has now, which I believe now we're in the post-pandemic aspect, um, Zoom, there are still creators on different social media platforms that are using Zoom to live stream. Just recently, I've kind of watched a couple of individuals on LinkedIn Live, and I began to watch them on YouTube. And I've watched others on Facebook in the past, maybe doing podcast shows, maybe doing, having Bible discussions and prayer meetings. And the question began to turn in my head in 2022, should we still be using Zoom? Now, hear me now, for live streaming. Now, I'm not opposed or against Zoom for virtual meetings. I still believe it has its place. But for live streaming, as content creators, people who are doing online content, should we be still using Zoom? Especially if we want to stand out and add value to our viewers? Well, let's look at some of the features that Zoom presents to online creators and live streamers and podcasters who want to do online content. Let's look at some of the features that they offer. Well, feature number one that they offer is live streaming. Reason number one is live streaming. They offer it where you can live stream on Facebook. They offer it where you can be able to live stream on YouTube. And even just recently, as I was doing my research on this topic of discussion today, there are some live stream softwares out there, and we won't mention them because we are not sponsored by them, and we're not looking to promote them. But as I was doing my research on YouTube, there are some live stream softwares out there. For example, OBS, for example, they allow you to be able to multi-stream, but you multi-stream only with Facebook and YouTube. And so as a content creator, as an online creator, are you really serious about standing out and making quality content that's going to add value to your viewers? Well, if you are, you have to kind of look at the live streaming landscape and say, is this truly the best tool that's going to help you stand out as a content creator? Don't answer that question yet. Let's continue to build our case and present this to you, our honor, and those of you who are in the court, in the jury. Well, feature number two, or reason number two that Zoom provides is being able to bring on guests. And so when you are doing a live stream, let's say on Facebook, if you just did it naturally on their platform, and I haven't been on Facebook Live, and those of you who are in the chat, Tech Troublemaker, Adobe 5, maybe you are a little up to date on what Facebook Live's features. To my understanding, I know they have Facebook rooms, but they don't allow you to just naturally bring a guest on through Facebook Live by yourself. So you have to kind of use a Zoom to bring on a guest for your show, if you're live streaming, or if it's a podcast, if it's a sports show, if it's a talk show. I know a few individuals who kind of do that. You have to bring them on as a participant, and that is your form of guest. And your guest can come on. You can also, if you're doing a live stream, maybe a panel discussion, or if you are having a meeting of sorts where you're going to live stream it either on Facebook or YouTube. And so Zoom does give you that ability. However, when you look at Zoom and you look at how the meeting is it at the up to the standards of a quality live stream show? Think about it for a minute, especially if you're an individual who has used Zoom in the past for live streaming. I know I have. If you look at some of your previous content when you used Zoom back then in 2020 and 2021, and now if you're using a live streaming platform like, say, Ecamm, I know Tech Troublemaker uses Ecamm, and Adobe 5, he uses, I believe, Ecamm. You look at your previous content and you look at what you're making now, is it still sufficient for 2022 and for content creators to be using it? Again, don't answer that question yet. Let's build this case here to say, is it sufficient to be using or not? Well, while we're building this case, do me a favor, as those of you who are watching us on YouTube, a live stream, a LinkedIn Live, and Twitter, do me a favor, smash the like button, click the thumbs up for me. By clicking the like button, that lets YouTube know, that lets LinkedIn Live know, and that lets Twitter know. If you give us a heart, click there, that lets those social media platforms that we are multi-streaming that this is a great piece of content that you guys value and are engaged with, and it encourages those social media platforms to say, hey, we need to share this with others. And so share this also on your favorite social media platform for me. And so let's continue this discussion. In 2022, that's what we're talking about. In today's time, should live streamers, podcasters, and online creators, should they be using Zoom in 2022 to do live streaming? Well, I got a couple of comments from the audience. So before we go to our next reason, let's kind of pull some stuff up here. We'll start from the last part from Adobe 5 here. Adobe 5 says, can't stay long, but I need to get back to work. Hey, man, I appreciate you just checking us out and being an online listener in the process of just popping on and just listening to the show. But I'd love to get your feedback on this, maybe on the replay. So if you could just throw me some comments on in the comments section of either LinkedIn Live or YouTube, a part of Team Replay, really would appreciate it. So let's build this case. Let's build this case and present it to the jury. Reason number 3. Well, Zoom gives you the ability, similar like live streaming platforms, to be able to share your screen. Being able to share your screen, to share files. Like right now, we are sharing our screen here, which is a part of StreamYard, which we use, our live streaming software. So Zoom gives you that same capability to share your screen, share files. It gives you the ability to share a video. So if you're doing a reactionary video or some type, it gives you the ability to do that. And it also gives you the ability to share analytics, some type of analytics that you are discussing part of your stream. Zoom does give you the ability to do that. But again, does it make sense in today's time? Well, here's what Tech Troublemaker says in us asking that question. Zoom makes sense for some use cases, but for streaming software, it can be it. Hold on, let's see that. So he's basically saying is, yes, in some cases, Zoom has its place, but streaming, though, with today's streaming software, I'm not for sure. Let's let the audience give us the feedback. But again, there are still content creators, Tech, and Adobe 5, and those of you who are listening us and listening on YouTube and LinkedIn Live and on Twitter, there are individuals who are still using it. for whatever reasons, from a cost standpoint, from a business standpoint, or for a tech standpoint, there are people still using it. But does it truly fit the bill? Does it truly help me and you as live streamers and online content creators really stand out and provide great quality content? Is Zoom going to be the platform that's going to help you get likes? Is Zoom going to help you to be able to get shares and comments? Well, can it do that? Let's look at reason number 4. Reason number 4 is that it provides you a whiteboard. So if you are a teacher who has students, I know Tech, you has said that you provide some teaching and some working with students and things. So they have the whiteboard feature where you can have an online classroom setting. You can be able to brainstorm and have people to have a whiteboard Wednesday online session. You can also kind of brainstorm and put presentations together. So that's another reason why some people are still using it. However, with today's technology, you can be able to use live streaming softwares like an OBS or even StreamYard, which is not sponsored by this live stream, but we are using it. You could possibly, and I believe, do better if you want to stand out, if you want to make quality content. And so you have the whiteboard. I know you're getting great value out of this because I'm getting great value. And so since we are both getting great value, let's agree together, hey, to click the like button, to share this live stream, especially if those that you know who may be using Zoom in today's time. So reason number 5. Reason number 5. Oh, did I click too much? I think I did. Oh, don't want to share the disadvantages yet. But reason number 5, background music. Well, before I touch on background music, the other thing that I wanted to share is that Zoom, it allows you to bring on guests. But just like Tech Troublemaker is in the chat, those of you who are watching this on LinkedIn and Twitter, Zoom does not give you the ability, though, to interact with comments in the chat. I want you to keep that in mind when we get to the parts that I consider a disadvantage. But don't want to jump ahead of myself. Zoom, as a reason, does give you to be able to provide background music while you're doing a live stream. But it's important, like we always say here on a live stream show, that if you're going to use background music, you don't want to use copyrighted music that belongs to another artist. You don't want to turn around, especially those of us on YouTube, and get some type of YouTube claim placed against you, where you end up having part of your stream taken down or muted. You want to use royalty-free music. And so though individuals are using background music, I've listened to individuals. I've also listened to some individuals and been a part of some live stream shows that individuals using Zoom where they were playing background music and it wasn't royalty free. And as a result, they end up having a part of their stream either taken down or all of it, or they end up just having it, just muted at a point where it affects the show. So Zoom gives you the ability, but however, is it providing you what you need to make sure it's royalty-free music, that it helps to set the tone of your show, that it helps to, help you to build a show identity, and then finally, engagement. Provide you engagement with your viewers. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube today, we're talking about and discussing the question, should you be using Zoom as a live streamer, as an online content creator in 2022? And so if you're checking us out this afternoon, let us know where you're watching us from in the chat. If you are part of Team Live, give us a hashtag Team Live. And those of you who are watching the replay up to this point, we want to encourage you to give us a hashtag replay. And thank you for you just checking out this discussion on Zoom and in live streaming. So let's get into now the disadvantages I believe that Zoom presents to a live streamer, a content creator. I need you to lean in, tech. Lean in to the camera. Lean in. Those of you who are watching this on LinkedIn, those of you who are watching this on YouTube, those of you who are part of Team Replay, I need you to lean in here. Disadvantage number one, and I kind of touched on it, audience comments. So Zoom does not give you, as a online content creator, a podcaster, a live streamer, to engage and pull up a comment on Zoom. Now, if you have a second monitor, like I do, it gives you the best you can do is to go over to that actual social media page, like a Facebook or YouTube, look at the comments, and then acknowledge the comments. That's the best you can do. But if you're really trying to boost engagement, helping your audience to be more engaged with your show, which we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, StreamYard is going to give you the ability, like I have Tech Troublemaker's comments up, to be able to pull up his comments and to engage with him in his thoughts, his comments, or question. So it doesn't allow you to be able to pull up the comments. A second disadvantage, I believe, it doesn't allow you to be able to have custom branding. So StreamYard gives me the ability to have some custom branding with my logo at the top right of a W. It gives me the ability to have my name branded in a color, which kind of fits the Huddle's branding color, personal branding color, and the Huddle in the lower third. So StreamYard gives me the ability, but I want to kind of shrink this presentation, and I want to show you, for example, a previous stream that I did a couple of years ago. If you can see that, tech, let me know you can see that in the chat. So what you're looking at is a YouTube video on the understanding the underdog mentality with my guest Kenny R. Hampton. But notice with Zoom, I only have a black background. I have no ability to have no logo, no custom branding for the lower thirds other than Zoom's branding. Another thing I want to point out to you is the font of my name. If you look at the font of Kenny's name and my name, look how small it is. It's so small to the point that you as an individual have to take a look. But with StreamYard, my name stands out, my logo stands out. And so from a custom branding standpoint, if you're a person who's still using Zoom, Zoom has not progressed to be able to give you what StreamYard can give you, or a live streaming software can give you. So I consider that personally a disadvantage of using Zoom as a live streaming platform. Just give me 1 second here. Let me just enlarge this. Boom. So as that is enlarging back to where I need it, Tech has a comment here that we need to pull up. It's a pretty big one too. So, okay. So Tech says, let's take these glasses off here for this one. If you are a Zoom Pro account, you have to ask Zoom to give. If you are a Zoom Pro account, you have to ask Zoom to give you the ability to have 1080 because of the quality of the live stream only gives you 720 at default. But if you are a pro on a pro plan, you can ask them and they will usually grant you the better quality. Great point. And so let me kind of back up here. because we're in our conclusion section. So let's back up here. Boom, conclusion. Okay, so great point. Poor video quality, which Tech talked about. Um, if you are on a free plan, or if you are just on, I think Tech, I'm on the plan that basically I pay $149. Like you're saying, 720 or possibly 480. The quality is so bad, you have to put that request in for 1080. And so poor video quality in today's live streaming times, to stand out where you're adding value to your viewer, is something, as a live streamer, as an online content creator, you really have to consider, especially if you're a business owner who's trying to grow your business and you're trying to increase leads, you're trying to get business opportunities and increase sales. Poor video quality is going to help your ability to do that. Okay, so and then before I go into the last point, gotta give a shout out to the man all the way from London, Mr. Ash Bolin, checking out the midweek huddle this afternoon. Good afternoon, my friend, and those of you who also may be watching us. We are talking about, should you, as a live streamer, an online content creator, be using Zoom in 2022 to do live streaming? And that's what we've been discussing. And so the last point I want to present to you, Your Honor, Tech Troublemaker, and to those of the jury, Ash, is Zoom on YouTube. Now, I haven't seen this on Facebook, but I've seen this quite a bit on YouTube. When you're finishing your live stream, you end up having a delayed ability to see your replay in a short period of time. Last time I was using Zoom, it would take me almost an hour to be able to see my replay, to be able to view my replay and to do any type of editing that I needed to do. And as a result, it became such a pain and a headache for me that finally that I said, okay, I have to look for a better option. And I came across StreamYard. And StreamYard began to address that pain point, where now, once I end the stream on YouTube, if you're in the stream, if you're multi-streaming for LinkedIn or Twitter, the replay is available immediately, in most cases, immediately, for your replay viewers, your team replay viewers, to watch your live stream. However, if you're using Zoom and you're going to be doing and want it to be replayed on YouTube, you can wait for almost anywhere from 30 minutes to almost an hour, depending on how long your live stream is. If you do a 2-hour live stream, it could possibly take almost up to an hour before your live stream is fully processed for your replay viewers to see it. And so this, I believe, is a major disadvantage, along with not being able to pull up audience comments, not being able to have custom branding, having small font size, and poor video quality. In 2022, doing live streaming with Zoom to stand out and to have a quality live stream show is not the answer. So then, what's the solution? I've made the case, Your Honor, Tech Troublemaker, and those of you members of the jury, Ash Bolin. What's the alternative? Well, the alternative that I am making is that I wouldn't recommend you using Zoom. However, what I would recommend you do is using a live streaming software like StreamYard. Again, this is not sponsored, but I'm providing you an option. If you are a Mac user, I would present to you Ecamm. If you don't want to go with StreamYard, I would provide Ecamm to you. So a shout out to all you Mac users who are going to be watching the replay. But if you are a PC or a Mac, I would recommend you StreamYard for these reasons. It gives you the ability to display the comments. especially if your audience are not only are they engaged with your show, but you also have the ability to pull up and display comments and see that your audience is engaging with one another. So StreamYard gives you the ability to do that. The custom branding, it gives you better font size. Rather, if you want the font and the color and the brand to be in blue, red, green, polka dot, whatever your preference. Better video, not just great video quality, but better video quality, where you can get up to 1080. Right now, we're doing 720, but you can do up to 1080, and you don't have to call and make a request, as Tech said, to Zoom. Again, Zoom from a virtual meeting standpoint, meeting with an individuals, doing maybe a virtual event where you need to use breakout rooms. Zoom stands out. I would recommend Zoom over Google Meet and Microsoft Teams, especially the breakout feature. If you end up having a virtual conference and you're going to have several content creators together and you want to have that moment of being able to just individuals to kind of virtually hang out and talk with one another, put individuals in the breakout room, boom. Unless StreamYard and Ecamm comes up with that feature, Zoom has that. So I would recommend that. But when it comes to live streaming, you got to go with StreamYard. You got to go with StreamYard. And so we do have a link in the description if you want to get a free trial run discount for your first month on StreamYard. There is a link in the description. We do also get a kickback from that. And so, but we want to help you to stand out and make quality content and have a quality live stream show. And again, it's not so much in terms of we're trying to push StreamYard. It's one thing for me to tell you 5 disadvantages about Zoom, but it don't give you an alternative. I think I'm doing you a disservice. And so that's the reason why I felt it was important to share an alternative for you. And so questions, Tech, Ash, questions, comments, those of you who are checking us out on LinkedIn Live or YouTube, if you have any questions or comments, thoughts about this discussion that we're having about should you as a content creator, as an online streamer, should you be using Zoom in 2022? Well, Your Honor, Tech, Troublemaker, members of the jury, Ash, Bolin, and those of you who are a part of Team Replay, I say to you, no. If you're not using it for virtual meeting purposes only, and I've seen some videos by some content creators to say, oh, you can use StreamYard as a virtual meeting. However, if I'm going to pay annually $150 and still have a plan with StreamYard, I got to be using my virtual meetings for a whole lot more than just a brief meeting in StreamYard. It's got to be much more, especially if I need it for breakout rooms, if I need it for events. Zoom stands out in that aspect. But however, it comes to live streaming, you got to go with either StreamYard or, again, if you're a Mac user, Ecamm. So the answer for us today is nay. You should be using a live streaming platform like StreamYard. That's going to help you to engage with your audience. Let me kind of go back here. We went to the questions to be able to display the comments, especially if the stream is over. One of the things that I try to do, guys, once the stream is over, and I don't know if you guys do this, is before I just sign off, if I've missed a question or a comment before me signing off, I'll pull up the question or the comment and read it. And so that way, if it's something I can have to bring back up next week in another live stream, I'll make a notation of that comment or that question that viewer left on StreamYard platform. I can't do that with doing that with Zoom because I don't have the ability to pull the comments up. And again, if I only have a single monitor, then how do I have the ability? I don't have the ability to pull up a Facebook Live or a YouTube. And so StreamYard It's going to help you to display the comments, have a better fonts, great video quality. And so we wanted to make this live stream topic available as a form of discussion to share with our fellow online content creators, our live streamers out there who are using Zoom. I've presented you an option, even if you have to go with the free plan. Even to have the Zoom in the bottom versus having Puddles the duck in the corner, in the top right corner. I'll take Puddles because with Puddles, I get to be able to display my comments. I have some degree of custom branding, and I have better font size. I have better video quality, and I have access. Hear me now. I have access to my replay. So if I need to repurpose my content, I can repurpose it. It's just going to take longer doing it through Zoom to try to repurpose it. And so we wanted to share this afternoon with you. If you are a person who is using Zoom, a part of your live stream, and you say, well, I'm using a live streaming software like OBS and it gives me the ability to boom, 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 boom. Okay. Think about your replay viewers. You want to get more views. Majority of your your views are going to come from your replay. It's going to come from your replay. And so if you're using Zoom, look at the missed opportunity you are missing on with replay views versus you having Puddles the duck in the top right corner. And again, here in New York, if I get me a Big Mac, a large Big Mac, some fries, and a large Coke, and I get my daughter 2 apple pies or something, and my wife a sweet tea, I'm spending close to $20 on something really that's not healthy for me, and I'm not going to probably enjoy it, but only for a few moments of pleasure. And then after that, nature calls. This is a PG live stream show, but nature calls. So I can take that $20. Or if you're a Starbucks person and you got a venti, a toffee nut latte, and you get you a pumpkin loaf, you buy the whole family a grande. Let's just stick with the grande. Toffee nut latte, pumpkin loaf, everyone gets one. That's easily the cost of what StreamYard of $25 if you don't want Puddles the duck in the corner. But you have access to your replay. And so I felt it was important. I felt it was important to share this with my fellow content creators who are out there using Zoom. If you're on Facebook, if you're using Facebook and you want to have access to previous recordings, for you to see previous recordings that you did on Facebook, you got to wait till your 1-year anniversary. If you forget what date and month you did it on, and you have to wait for it to come up as a 1-year anniversary to be able to pull it. Whereas with StreamYard, you can go back in past broadcastings. So something to think about live streaming, so that you can have a better quality show and add value to your audience. At the end of the day, if you want viewers to be engaged with your live stream, then I'm saying, hey, the Zoom in the bottom right lower third, or Puddles the duck in the corner, top right corner. That gives you better video quality. That gives you the ability to pull up comments. Hey, it's a no-brainer. Hey, guys, your thought. I would love to get your thoughts, your feedback. Those of you who are watching in the chat, a part of Team Live, hey, let us know where you're watching us from. If you're on YouTube, if you are on LinkedIn, let us know in the chat where you're watching us from. Give us a thumbs up by clicking the like button. This is going to let LinkedIn and YouTube know. And if you give us a heart on Twitter, this is going to let these social media platforms know that this is some great piece of content you guys are getting great value out of, and they'll just continue to keep it before more individuals. So I really appreciate that, you guys doing it. And then finally, if you are joining us for the first time as an online listener and you've been checking me out and listening to this presentation about should you be using Zoom as a content creator in 2022, I hope I've made my case today for you and being able to make a quality decision on the type of live streaming software you should be using. And if you were impressed with our presentation today, I want to encourage you to click the thumbs up and give us a yay by subscribing to the channel, where we are committed to helping you broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video. And so I think we've said everything that we need to say. We are excited for this Saturday coming up, as we are continuing in our discussion of in our series of should you be as a content creator. So this was the first installment of should you as a content creator be using Zoom. Well, our next one is going to be on Saturday, and should you as a content creator, as a live streamer, should you be multi-streaming to multiple platforms like we're doing today? We're going to answer that question. And a person using live streaming software say that, hey, that's got to be an easy answer, but you got to look at both sides of the coin. Want to say good afternoon to a good returning friend of ours, Mr. Joshua Crowley. Hi again, my good friend. I appreciate you checking out the Huddle this afternoon. We've been talking in our this series we've started on, should you as an online content creator, as a live streamer, be using Zoom in 2022? So I know you just joined us, and if your schedule does permit you, sir, check out the replay, be a part of #Team Replay, and that way you can be able to listen to the entire stream and give us your thoughts about Zoom. If you are a person who uses Zoom, or if you're a person who uses Google Meets or Microsoft Teams, listen to the presentation and give us your feedback. Give us a thumbs up and share this live stream. So we really appreciate it. But we just wanted to come on and present some quality content that will get you as a content creator to really think, if you're using a virtual meeting like Zoom to live stream, should that be something should be doing in 2022? And so we've presented it to our honor, tech troublemaker, and to the members of the jury, Mr. Ashpoland, all the way from London, and you, my good friend Joshua. We've presented it to the jury on our thoughts about Zoom. Again, a great virtual meeting. In no way was this live stream to bash Zoom as a product. A virtual meeting platform I fully endorse. I am a Zoom moderator for our church, and I do all the Zoom moderating for our services. And so when it comes to that, especially if I got to do a breakout room for our deacons, our elders, our pastors, or for members of our church, and put up breakout rooms and still have the main room, it's a great platform for that aspect. I'm satisfied with that. I can pull up background music on YouTube and play that. I can share my screen and do things like for a virtual meeting purpose. But we don't take our services and then go live with them. That's the difference. Once you go live and you begin to have an online audience, such as Mr. Crowley and Tech and Ash, and those of you who are part of Team Replay, that's when you have to ask the question, should this be the best tool you should be using? It's a good tool, but is it the better tool? And I say to you, StreamYard is the better tool. So, gentlemen, I appreciate you checking out the Midweek Huddle. We are going to continue to in this series because we want to talk on some other should you as a content creator topics, like, should you be going live on Instagram in 2022? Should you be going live on Facebook in 2022? Should you be going live on LinkedIn Live? These things have become popular. And as live streamers and content creators, I believe we need to have a discussion about them. So, with that said, gentlemen, we're going to bring the midweek huddle to a conclusion. And I want to thank. What did I just do? What did I just do? Oh, I see what I did. I hit my settings. Oh, see, so used to the Stream Deck. I'm so glad that I just moved certain hotkeys. There we go. So there we go. So we're gonna glad I moved certain hotkeys from a certain place, so that way I don't end up ending the broadcast prematurely like I did several months ago when I first got it. But gentlemen, I want to thank you for checking out the midweek huddle. I pray that this discussion has added value to you in your use of Zoom and you using live streaming software. Again, if you've gotten great value, give me a thumbs up. Share this on your favorite social media platform. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And so as we close out by saying many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that will prevail in your life. Make a quality decision today and let God's purpose prevail in your life. See you on Saturday.